It's Sunday night. I almost said Friday night. Blasted or Stash It time. And as always, with this tonight, we have Drew, Paul, Mike, and myself. And I'll start with Drew, because I always like to pick on him because he never has his quote ready. You hear me, Drew, or are you still reading Champions?
No, I finished Champions, but I didn't have time to find a quote. You knew I wasn't going to have time to find a quote, and you came to me anyway.
Okay, we'll go to Paul then.
Self-sabotage is a real problem, Dave, and you need to stop self-sabotaging.
Mine is 86.
Your mic's jacking up again.
All right, well, go to Mike.
Mike, do you have a quote tonight? No! You're just messing up too.
Yes, yes, I do. In the we get common
wow.
figures. Pecan Joe.
It's gonna be one of those nights.
It might be one of those nights.
Is my mic fucking up too?
Yep, you got the robo.
Yeah, I think it's your. Yeah, you got robo internet going on.
Happy birthday to Cat Ren's mother. See our comics, the toys. Welcome. I probably can't hear me, but what the fuck?
No,
okay.
Better now.
All right, my quote is from 1999. Perhaps you don't understand. If you don't pay me now, I'm going to take this swizzle stick and I'll be shoving that right up your pee hole.
That's, got it. It's, God, I know that movie too. I know the bartender was Norm Macdonald, right?
Yep.
What is that movie?
The Dirty Work?
No, it's not. No, it's not Dirty Work. Because he does use the cranberry juice, doesn't he? Because he wants cranberry juice with something. He doesn't have any money, so he just gets cranberry juice.
Yep.
Maybe in the chat, no?
Man, you're right there. Double S Comic Reader got it.
Was it Deuce Bigelow? Is it? Okay. I love Dirty Work too. That's an awesome movie. And moving on to my quote from 1978. It's too good to be true. He's 6'4", has black hair, blue eyes, doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, and tells the truth. 1978. It is a superhero movie.
Superman
2.
It's Superman, the first one. I mean, 1978 in the superhero movie pretty limits it down there. So, since Drew's still not ready, we'll go ahead and move.
I'm ready. I'm ready with a quote.
Oh,
yeah.
You have a quote now? Okay, go ahead with your quote.
I have a quote. You hawked a Hattori Hanzo sword? Yep. Well, it was priceless. Well, not in El Paso. It ain't. In El Paso, it got me $250.
Kill Bill Volume 2.
There you go.
Is this any better, by the way?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, that's right. You still haven't done your quote, have you?
Nope. Mine's from 1986, and everybody who was a teen in that era will have seen this movie. The question isn't, what are we going to do? The question is, what aren't we going to do?
Oh, that sounds familiar, too. I was only 10.
I was 3, so...
You've probably still seen it anyway, Drew.
Oh. What year is it?
86.
Was it
No.
Porky's?
Here, I'll give it away. Another line from it is, "You are Abe Froman, the Sausage King of Chicago."
Oh, yeah.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Isn't that what I said?
Is that what you said? Did you say Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I don't think so.
I didn't hear you say it either. It could have been a communication error. I didn't hear it.
The brownies you ate before the show.
I did not eat any brownies before the show. I'm watching my sugar intake.
So, real quick before we jump into the rest of the show, If you didn't know it, Paul had a birthday this week, so everybody wish Paul a happy birthday. 40 years young, right, Paul?
21 for the 25th time.
Nice, nice. So since it's your birthday this week, why don't you start with your first book? If you're ready for that kind of thing.
He's muted, so.
He's muted again.
No, I was muted on purpose. My daughter came up to ask me something.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and give us your first book there, Paul.
Let's go with Oblivion Song. This is still a very solid book. It kind of ended the first arc on the last issue, and it's clearly the start of a new arc, like I said. So it's a lot of setup. Payoff from the first one is good, so I'm going to give it the time to build like that one did. The big reveal on this one was who was responsible for the transference, but I'm not going to give that away. And it's definitely shaping up to be another good arc. So that would be a stash for me.
Mike, you read that this week?
Yeah, let me run through the chat real quick if you guys can still hear me. Trinity's in here, Jason Smith, Double S Comic Reader, Miss Hustle's in here. Everybody's saying happy birthday. Jock Yo, Cat Ren, whose mother's birthday is today. Let's see. Trilogy's in here. Reviews from the Batcave, Chad.
What's up, Chad?
And the Tats Comics was in here a minute ago. So a bunch of people in here. Oblivion
Happy
Song.
Rusev Day. Happy Rusev Day to the chat.
When's Rusev Day is going to be over? That's what I want to know.
Rusev Day is every day. Every day is Rusev Day.
I'd rather it be Lana Day.
Well, it can be Lana Day, too.
Okay.
I'd rather it be Rusev Day and Lana Night.
That's what I'm talking about. So Oblivion Song. So on this one, Nathan is still trying to convince his brother to leave Oblivion, which he actually does finally. And when they get back, Nathan is arrested. Blah blah blah. So his brother is stuck in the real world, and he has no place to go. I don't want to spoil the ending. I don't think Paul did either, but it's a surprise ending. Still great stuff. Still going to be picking it up. It's a stash.
Yeah, I'll probably be picking it up too, at least for a few more issues. See how this next arc's going. Just to add on what we're talking about, his brother's now back in the real world. He's realizing how much he hates it too. That's just one other little piece too. You know, people running into him on the street, and he's just not digging it at all. I think he's wanting to be back to Oblivion. But definitely, it's a stash for me, and I'll pick up. So hopefully this next arc's going to pick up a little bit more too. Drew, did you read Oblivion Song this week?
Yes, stash it. Loving the art, loving the story. This is the reveal of the big bad. So no spoiler there. This is going to be a key issue. And if this series continues the way I think it's going to, you're looking at another Saga Light situation where this is definitely going to pick up some steam in collectability. I think that Kirkman being behind this is a good sign that there's going to be more to come from it. And yeah, man, key issue, great story, great art. What's not to like about it?
Trilogy said to call me after the show, so I don't know what that's about.
I think they're talking amongst themselves. I don't think Trilogy wants us to call him.
Oh, okay.
I think he's talking to Trinity.
Trilogy, Trinity, you know. But you're up, Mike.
The other name because they love it so much.
Yep.
Shit. I'm up already.
Yeah, you're up already.
Yeah, you're up.
I'm up.
Already. Already, you're up.
Let's do the Suicide Squad number 45. Right there. So we all know Atlantis has risen, and in this issue we get Mira is being crowned the queen. Of course, the U.S. Sees them as a threat and contacts Amanda Waller, and she sends Suicide Squad to what the Suicide Squad thinks is to sink Atlantis, but really the plan is to totally destroy it. So she sends Killer Croc, Harley, and Deadshot. She gets a couple of new faces, new recruits, Lord Satanus and Master Jailer. Best part about this book is Harley thinks she says Satin Anus. So she keeps calling Satanus Satin Anus. It's fucking funny as shit. Stash it, and if you guys notice at the end, we're getting a costume update for Red Hood, so he looks pretty cool. But yeah, stash Suicide Squad. Fuck it, why not?
Trilogy was asking if I'm in a cave. I'm not sure if maybe my mic has a little bit of issues. I tried switching around just now. Hopefully that's a little better. If that's the situation that's going down,
he's not in it, but he's in the closet.
Yeah.
Nothing.
What?
No.
What am I?
He's not in the cave. He's in the closet.
Well,
He's not in the closet. Not after Dallas.
Not after Dallas. No, I'll let it all hang out now. My first book and one of my picks of the week, and this probably goes back to me being a Scoutmaster, if anybody out there believes that. But it is Black Badge #1 by Boom Studios. So this whole concept of these Boy Scouts, they talk. There's one's kind of giving a breakdown on how he got into the Black Badge. He had earned all of his merit badges, but yet there was one left to do. He did so well, they're bringing him into the Black Badge, and so they're actually this little unit. They're with the Boy Scouts. They're kind of an off-brand, and other scouts make fun of them. But they're in North Korea. They end up canoeing up away from the rest of the troop, setting a target on this warehouse. The U.S. comes and blows it up, and the Koreans catch them in there. They're like, "Oh, they're just kids. Get them out of here." And so they end up going back. Nobody in the rest of the troop knows that they're part of Black Badge, the secret CIA or government agency that's full with kids. I thought it was great. Definitely something I'd recommend to my scouts in general. So I don't know if anybody else picked up that, but Black Badge is my stash of the week. Huh?
It's like a step up from Order of the Arrow.
Yep.
Yeah, well, a little bit more than Order of the Arrow. But it was a good book. I actually loved it. Anybody else pick up Black Badge this week?
Funny thing about that.
Yeah.
No, I did not pick up.
That is funny. Sorry. You're up. Nobody else read that, so I guess it's true.
You want to know what else nobody else read? Champions #23, and I just read it. And it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's pretty good. The art is really nice. It's a pretty book. It goes into some details as to what makes Viv, and it's kind of cool in that regard. Anybody knows about the last issue of Champions? It sucked, but the end was cool because Man-Thing was there and kind of destroyed Viv, but not really. She gets a chance to come back. Maybe we'll see what happens there. Some great action in this, some weird magic stuff. I still don't care about Brawn, which is the terrible Amadeus Cho character. And there's some stuff with Nova in here where he's like, "Oh man, I can't be Nova because I'm not Nova," and then that's it. It's over. So this is a stash. I liked it. Story was good. Good art. Still don't care about Brawn. Stash.
Real quick in the chat, is my mic any better now? I switched it up again. Let me know. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Anybody else read Champions this week? He's got mic issues tonight.
What is going on?
Jacko says a thumbs up for me. I'm good to go. Paul's still in the doghouse here, trying to figure it out. Technical difficulties across the board. Hooters.
Paul does kind of sound like R2-D2. He's coming through in beeps and squeaks.
Beeps and squeaks. Boats and hoes.
Yep. Again.
Still shit.
Exactly. Hey, Cat Run, do not Do not jinx me here. It was going all right. Now I'm on edge.
It'll happen later. Mike, since Paul's trying to figure that stuff out, did you read Champions this week?
I did not read Champions. What did I read?
Good job not reading Champions.
I was going to get it just for that cover, but I did read...
I thought the cover is pretty cool.
Yeah. But I did read Sideways number 7. And Sideways is mourning the loss of his mom. And nothing is going right. And all of a sudden, he's approached by Zatanna, Clarion the Witch Boy, and a few others that nobody cares about. And he's needed to help them save the universe from something. And all I'm going to say is hashtag bring back the fishnets. Zatanna does not have the fishnets in this issue either, but I'm still going to pick up Sideways. So it's a stash.
I want to ask you a question. I was dealing with Mike issues. That Suicide Squad, I heard there was that's a key issue. They find something that's their first appearance or something. Is that true?
I don't think so.
Okay. Weren't they going to Atlantis to find something?
They were going to Atlantis to sink it because it came out of the ocean.
Oh, okay. I heard there was something else.
That happened in Aquaman, the last issue of Aquaman.
Yeah.
Paul, are you back with us?
I hope so.
Did you read Champions this
Sounds
week?
like it.
I did not.
Okay, so we didn't miss much.
Paul, I'm super surprised that you didn't read Champions this week. That something makes me think that book is marketed towards you. It would make you scream "fuck Marvel," and I think that you've really enjoyed the whole experience as a whole.
I already got a fuck Marvel this week, so I didn't want to overload.
Well, think of that. Go ahead there, Paul. What's your next book? Since Mike talked about Sideways, which I don't think you read either.
No, but
Okay.
I'll save the fuck Marvel book because I think we're going to segue for that one. So we'll do Farmhand number 2. This book is still pretty decent, but I kind of feel like it's trying to find the story it wants to tell. This issue was not great for me. It was kind of all over the place, but I'm going to give it a couple more issues to see if it gets back on track.
Mike, did you read Farmhand?
No, I did not. Jason Smith asked, "Who's Braun? He's not Hulk no more." He is not Hulk no more. He's Braun.
Diet Hulk. He's Braun the Diet Hulk. He's like Hulk Zero.
He's the diet cola of Hulk. That's 1 calorie, not Hulk enough. I got Farmhand number 2 as well. I kind of, when you said that Paul, it kind of made sense to me too. How it seemed like it's all over the place, and that's how this book kind of felt. I mean, we do get a little more of the replacement. There's a woman with the nose. And it shows kind of how that process is a little bit more. It shows the 2 thugs trying to kidnap Zeke and one delivery guy for the farm. Yeah, I'm hoping it's going to pick back up too. But it's a stash. But if it doesn't pick up in the next couple issues, I'm probably going to be dropping it for sure.
For sure.
For sure. Drew, did you read Farmhand this week?
I believe I was the only one in the community that gave Farmhand a scathing review upon its debut. I didn't like it then, and I won't be reading it, but I'm glad if you enjoyed it.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Back to Mike. Looking dainty there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be out of fucking books. What did you call me?
I can go. I got a book here I can talk about, and we'll go back to you.
Go. Talk about it.
Of all the words I could use to describe Mike, I don't think dainty would ever enter the lexicon.
Well, the way he was sitting there.
Well, you haven't seen him with his pants off.
For which I am forever grateful.
Yeah. Let's not relive Dallas.
Wait a minute. Back this up a little bit.
That's what you said
with
in
my
Dallas.
pants off.
Dude, you were super drunk. Let's just leave it at that.
Well, I did have them burn marks, and I don't know where they came from, so that explains a lot.
Look, Cat Red's wow, LOL, in the chat. I got to see what's going on my phone.
There you go, duck butter from Chad.
Hashtag duck butter.
Okay, so my book, apparently this is the #1 book in New Zealand. I guess we got to ask Kyle Walker about that, because he's from New Zealand, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So it's already been released over New Zealand. This is a #1 for release in the States. But I can't believe it's #1 book in New Zealand. This is by Golden Apple Books. This is Blastosaurus #1. Pick this up. The whole story is these two kids. They're going out to find dinosaurs that live in the world. They find this guy who's dressed up as a dinosaur. Find out it's Blastosaurus dressed up as a dinosaur to hide in plain sight. He gets attacked by some robots when he's in the trying to get his burrito or lunch, and I don't know what the hell is going on with this, dude. It's the art. I mean, the art is very similar to what's up front. See, look, he's hand stuck in there, trying to get the burrito.
That could be our mascot.
He could. And it's a good thing it's not called Stachosaurus, because it is a Blastosaurus for me, too. There he is, out of his uniform. Bum, bum, bum. Blastosaurus. So, Kyle Walker, if you watch this, if you're watching it now, or if you watch it later, let us know in the comments down below. Is this actually the #1 book in New Zealand? Because, not #1 in my heart, that's for sure. So, anybody else pick up, Blastosaurus this week?
No, the big shout out to Stay Puff 1983.
Stay Puff.
I love that. Stay Puff. I stay puffy all the time.
We know that's a lot of bloating.
It's all water, I swear.
It's all water weight.
No, yeah, it's not a TMNT. Drew, since nobody else read Blastosaurus, I guess we'll go back to Drew for
you don't know that I didn't read Blastosaurus?
Nobody else read Blastosaurus but me.
Maybe I walked into my LCS and the manager was like, hey man, you really enjoy Blastosaurus. It's the #1 comic in New Zealand, and I think you'd enjoy it.
Did that really happen?
No, it didn't fucking happen, but it could have.
Yeah,
how do you know?
But I knew. I just knew. So, moving on.
Moving on. What are we moving on to?
Your #1 book. Your next book.
My #1 book or my next book?
Your next book, sorry.
Let's talk about Detective Comics, number 986. The art in this is okay. The story is okay. It's just overall kind of okay. For some reason, this book has become Batman and the Outsiders. Probably because if they put Batman and the Outsiders on the cover, nobody would buy it. And that saddens me, because this has potential to be awesome and a bunch of great detective stories, and it's not that at all. I don't really care. I'm going to keep picking it up until it hits 1,000. We're going to be 14 issues away. Is that 28 weeks? Is that half a year? 6 months? I can do that. I can hang on, and I can buy all these terrible Detective Comics books until we get something good. So, yeah, stash it because it's detective.
You kind of said the same thing about Action Comics. Now you feel about Action Comics now.
Wait till they announce that Brian Michael Bendis is going to write detective.
He's going to write Batman. DC will go out of business. If Brian Michael Bendis gets Batman, DC will go out of business.
Look at Mike.
I will start burning other people's Batman memorabilia.
He'll fly to your house and burn your shit right in front of you just because.
Yeah.
Drew, not Drew. Paul, did you read?
Not yet. I have, but I haven't read it yet.
How about you, Mike?
I haven't. I have not read it, but I actually been enjoying this story arc with what's the fucking villain's name? Karma or some shit.
Yeah, Carl.
Black Lightning's hanging.
Yeah, Black Lightning. He's awesome. Not.
I have it too, but I haven't read it yet either. I do want to address a question real quick in the chat. CR Comics and Toys said, Noodles Channel, what happens if you blast it? That was an old concept with the first 5 episodes, I think we only did that with. There used
5
to
or
be,
6.
Yeah, there used to be a member on here that was a vet, and he would actually, take him to the shooting range, and he actually go shoot the comics that we didn't like for the week. But unfortunately, that deemed a little too hard to try to get done.
And didn't Kirby do it once?
Yeah, he did. Kirby did with the
photocopies of the comics, not the actual comics.
Yeah. No, like I said, Mike said photocopies. It wasn't the real books. But the logistics of trying to get the video done by Wednesday, Wednesday by Friday to get it up for the show, it wouldn't work. So
range time is expensive.
Yep. So now blast it means that we would take it to the range, or we would just do this garbage, and we wouldn't be picking up any more of it. So kind of changed concept a little bit, but didn't want to change the name. Going back to Paul.
What happened?
What, Mike?
Views from the Batcave asked what happened to the guy that shot the books.
Oh, he dropped out. Oh, Paul, when was it? Mike, Mike's been here since the beginning, so have I. Paul, you came in right around episode 6 or 7. Right around there, I think.
I don't... Aside from a few times, I maybe by 40 or 50 it was done.
Vince?
Yeah.
Way before that.
Yeah, way before that. He was only like a handful of episodes, too, so... Drew's our newest member. He's only been on here, what, Drew? 6 months?
I don't know. It feels like 6 years.
It does.
By the way, CR Comics is a friend of mine. So.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Give him hell.
Okay. We're going to Paul with your next book.
My next book is Hawkman 3, and for lack of anything really just tripping my trigger this week, I guess this is my pick of the week, just because I've always been a Hawkman fan, and I like the fact that right now he seems to be kind of out of the main continuity, and the story's interesting, the art's really good. I'm going to keep reading it. It's my kind of book.
Jeremy wants to know what episode did he come on, if we remember that. Oh, my goodness. He was on still when Vince was here, I think. But it was fairly early on.
Yeah, I think he was relatively early.
Mike, did you read Hawkman?
I'm going to have to do
I did.
Freaking index someday of the episodes.
Yep. Paul or Drew, did you read Hawkman?
No, I did not.
Okay, going back to Mike. Your next book. Oh my goodness, constipation has set in.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Catwoman number 2.
What was that?
I don't know. I'm extremely tired.
Drew's tired too.
Aren't we all?
Vince's place. I remember that.
Yeah, you guys were kind of a little bit together, I think, but I think Vince was kind of off at that point, really.
Splash page just popped in here, so.
Going on, Monty. Mr. White Gloves.
Woman number 2. Again, I did not care for this. Taking out all the cat women who I think are like actors who get hired to, I don't know. This book did nothing for me. I'm gonna pick it up strictly for these covers if they're as gorgeous as this one. But this is a blast. Or maybe I'll just finish out the story arc, see where the next one goes. Who the fuck knows?
But if you don't pick up Catwoman, how are you going to know when they get married? What's been going on?
Yeah, how you know that?
In issue 100.
See, I got 2 issues here. Yeah, I picked up this issue too. I will probably continue to pick them up from the course for the cover. Oh my goodness, for the cover. But the story's not too bad.
Put your edibles down.
My what? My what there, Paul?
Your edibles.
Yeah, that definitely. I will continue to pick it up. I do like the Artgerm covers, and the story's not too bad. I don't think it's horrible. Definitely better. I mean, I pick up Harley Quinn for the Chill covers, and I never read that book. But as long as the story's good, I'll probably pick it up and still read it. So it's a stash, cover-wise, soft stash for story-wise. So you were laughing at Catwoman, Drew. Did you not pick it up?
No, I wasn't laughing at Catwoman. I was just laughing.
Oh. Did you read
Chicky
Farm edibles? What? Comics Mr. Plains just blew my mind. Guys, I got something I need to work on. No, I didn't read Catwoman.
Is that oregano? Yes, sure. It's oregano.
I did not read Catwoman.
How about you, Paul?
Did you read Catwoman?
I picked it up. I said, this is a great cover. I opened up to the first page. I said, nope.
What was wrong with the first page?
I was like, I don't have time.
Read it. It said nope.
I didn't think it was that bad of a book, but oh well. Guess I'm the odd man out here.
I'll probably read it at some point, but just I was like, I don't have time for this shit today.
Now I'm curious to see what's on the front.
I guess I'm up, huh? I am up. Okay. Bum, 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 bum. Do I have another one that nobody else read? I bet you nobody else read this one, and Drew will probably come up with some elaborate story of maybe why he would have read it, but we'll go into it. By Alternative
Maybe
Comics.
I did read it.
Huh?
Maybe I did read it.
Maybe you did. I doubt it. But
I'm so judgy today.
Yeah, as soon as you said alternate comics, I would be like, no, because Drew would bitch about the paper stock. And
yeah. So, Psycho KO.
Bitch about it.
So this whole story here is just Robot Psycho. He goes back to win his surfing trophy they won like 5 years ago, and the other guy who's come up and been winning it the past 5 years, like, screw this, I'm coming back to take it over again. And there's a big surfing contest. That's the whole thing. It's a cross between Deadpool, Archie, and maybe think of like old like Justice League cartoons or something like that. You know, just that dynamic. The whole story was crap. I would not pick up any more of Psycho KO. So this is a blast for me. Luckily, it's only $1.50 blast. I don't spend a whole lot of money for that crap. So Drew, did you read Psycho KO?
Funny story about
Funny
that.
story.
Yeah. So I'll take that as a no. And Paul didn't.
No, I don't read things printed on toilet paper.
Leave this perforated to use.
Single ply.
Single ply. So nobody
Single
else read
ply
that
gas stock.
A big shout out to All About Comics who just popped in here.
Oh, hey, how's it been, man? I guess we're back to Drew.
All right, let's talk about the Adamantium Agenda. Oh, man, I really love these Hunt for Wolverine stories. They're fantastic.
Yeah, you were really playing them up last week. Talking about
man, do I love how they go absolutely nowhere and tell you absolutely nothing. But the funny thing about this one is, even though it's been the best of the bunch, still a dud at the end, but we do get a little bit of continuity in the fact that it's revealed through the knowledge of Mr. Sinister's collection of DNA, because he's like the perviest perv in the history of pervs. And he's got this giant warehouse just full of DNA samples. It turns out that Laura is not a clone of the Wolverine. Yet she is the actual biological daughter of the Wolverine. What you say? What does this do to continuity? Who the fuck knows? But maybe it'll do something. And that is why you should pick it up. And that is the only reason why you should pick it up. But, yeah, blast the fuck out of this book. It is terrible, and it's the best of the bunch.
I think there was a warehouse of DNA in your hotel room in Dallas.
That probably could be.
Let me tell you the story.
Funny thing about that.
Funny thing about that.
Anybody else read Antimanium? Do you know that book right there?
What,
Antimantium.
what's it called?
Yeah, I'm going to try and say it again.
Antidamantiums.
Antidamaniums, yeah. Anybody else read that book Nobody else read that this week?
No.
Okay.
God, thank you. Thank you for saving yourself.
Last week, I decided to pass on the rest.
Are you sure? Are you sure that you want to let me be the only one suffering through these terrible fucking books? I read these for you people out there on the internet. I read these for you. I don't do it for me. If I did it for me, I'd stop doing it. I read the adamantium agendas for you.
If he was reading these for him, he'd be like tripped out on bath salts already.
That's rock bottom right there.
We're on to Gone Way. Okay, they're talking about something else. On to you, Paul.
Let's do the Sandman book. I have a very high bar for the Sandman universe, so this is really going to have to win me over. First read through, I see some potential. Sandman world's so rich, there's a lot going on here, so I'm going to kind of withhold my judgment until I read this at least once more and then get a second issue in, because there's just a shit ton going on, and it's the way the Sandman universe is, it's all going to be intertwined, and there's going to be a lot going on that you don't even know is going on yet. So this is a stash for now.
Mike, did you read Sandman?
No, not yet. I do have it. I have that Jim Lee cover.
I read it. I tried to read it the other morning when I was half asleep, and I said, "Wow,
that's your mistake."
And I seriously could not follow what the hell was going on, and I got about 6 to 8 pages into it, and I said, "No, I got to put this back. I got to stop and be awake and really concentrate on what's going on, because it's kind of confusing. That's for sure." I read Neil Gaiman's was it American Gods?
Yep.
I read through that. I kind of dropped that, but I think I'm on you. Same as you, Paul. Is that I think I might have to give it, and maybe another read, because it seemed like I captured more that second time I read it. I was a little more aware of what was going on. But I think I might pick up issue 2 to fall through. I know nothing about Sandman, nothing about the history. He was a pretty prevalent character. What was it? Late 90s, early 2000s?
It was, well, Sandman was the original series that came into the 90s. I mean, that was working at the comic book store.
Yeah.
But I mean, even now, like, I'm hoping they can achieve that kind of depth and everything, because, like, I could still pick up the Sandman books for Gaiman and just totally get enthralled by everything that's going on and how everything weaves together. And I'm hoping that they can capture that. I know we were talking about this the other day, and I think he's kind of like the Kevin Feige for the Marvel movies. He's not actively writing any of this, but he is kind of steering the ship. So,
yeah, it definitely, you need to take time and dedicate time to this book, even though it may be a comic book. It weaves and intertwines quite a bit. That if you're not paying attention, you're going to get lost pretty quick. So it's a stash for me, at least till issue 2, and kind of see what's going on there. Drew, are you awake? Look like you're kind of asleep there. Your eyes are getting heavy.
No, I'm awake.
Are you? What'd you think of Sandman?
You're putting me to sleep with all this talk about Neil Gaiman and Sandman. Not my cup of tea. So I did not pick this up.
Oh, okay. Moving on to Mike. We got a couple new people in the chat.
We do have a couple new people in the chat. One of them peoples is Eddie the Comic Guy.
One of them peoples.
And one of them peoples. That's all we need right there is Eddie the Comic Guy. Who else is in here? Who else did you see?
I don't know. You tell me.
You said a couple.
Well, yeah, you're the chat man. I thought I saw somebody else. No, maybe I'm wrong.
He needed to be Bombotope. He's the chat man. That was a Scatman reference. Does anybody get my Scatman reference?
Yeah, I know that guy. Mike, your next book.
My next book, my second before last book, is Old Man Logan, number 45. This is the end of the Bullseye Vendetta Logan storyline.
This is two homages. In 2 weeks straight, we've got an homage to Daredevil 181.
And where the hell did it go? I lost my copy.
But this storyline has been great. Vendetta's a cool character. Bullseye's one sick fuck. I said it last or the week before last, and
that's what makes him so awesome.
Yeah. Comics with Bewley's in here. There's our second person.
Yeah, there we go. Told you.
So definitely Bueller.
Anybody else read Old Man Logan this week?
Ooh, I did. I read that one. I picked it up. Funny story about that. I liked it.
And that's it?
I thought it was good.
That's your critique?
I like Brisson's story here. The Bullseye stuff was pretty great. The art was above average, and it was good enough. Paulie did talk about the cover is, just another homage. Deodato just did the exact same homage inside Infinity Wars. And it's pretty crazy that he did that twice in a week's time. And that's pretty awesome. Or disappointing. You be the judge.
See, I agree with Gord Vidal. He just said in the chat, if you haven't read the entire Sandman series, the book's going to be confusing for any new reader. He said, I've read the series, and even I was perplexed.
Yeah.
It's a deep universe. I know these characters, but I'm not sure what's going on here yet.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it took me reading that second time and go, oh, okay, I got this. I couldn't figure out why the hell the Raven was flying through different worlds. And then I read back and read it again. Oh, okay, now I got it. Now I'm a little more awake. I understand what's going on. This is going to be my stinker of the week. I usually don't go off on rants, but good God, I spent $6 an issue on this, and I bought all 4 of the Art Germ covers. That's Fantastic Four #1.
Here we go.
I'm a spoiler here. The Fantastic Four does not reunite in this book. After how many years has the Fantastic Four not had an issue? They were in Secret Wars, 2 years ago? But good God, dude, you're going to make me spend $6 and you're going to give me a crappy romantic story and then acknowledge at the end of the book on the one-page Scotty Young thing saying that readers are going to be pissed off that the Fantastic Four are not getting together. And you acknowledge that, but yet you put out fucking $6 on this shit. And usually I go in order, but I'm going to hand this off to Paul because I think he's going to be able to finish it better than I can. Paul?
Is Double S in the room? Fuck Marvel.
Thank you, Paul.
It just didn't do it for me. The story was meh. And as is typical for Marvel with their fucking community college artists, the art stuck like a dumpster fire. The best part was the Scotty Young one-pager. I have hopes for this title, so I'm going to pick up another issue. But for now, it's going to be a no for me, dog.
That is for me, too. Mike, how about you? Fantastic Four. The big book of the week, supposedly.
Big book. So in this one, it starts off, we get Johnny and Ben enjoying a typical good day, I guess, in New York. And when they see the Fantastic Four fucking signal in the sky, they get all hard and shit and their hopes up, thinking the team's being fucking reunited. Turns out some kids broke into, I guess, the secret. I don't know. I don't know where.
Tower?
Part was the guy's like, oh yeah, there were too many numbers on the code, so I couldn't set the alarm.
Yeah. So it turns out some kids, it was a prank. There's some reminiscing about an earlier mission, and Johnny Storm does his best Ferris Bueller impersonation. Ben Grimm actually
today.
Yes, Ben actually proposes to Alicia in this one, and Johnny acts like a little bitch because Johnny acts like a little bitch because Ben Grimm wants him to be his best man, and he feels it should be Mr. Fantastic, but he's a little bitch anyway. So, we still don't get any answers where the Fantastic Four been. My favorite part of the story was the little Doom storyline at the end. So, this is a semi-stash for me.
This should have been one of the ones that was in, what is it, Tales to Astonish, or Marvel 2-in-1 that they're doing that.
And
this should not have been the number one. With the number one, it should have been the team getting back together. It should have been something fucking epic, and it was a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Drew, your last one, you're holding up quite a few variants from that book, so you spent some change on that thing.
Worth every penny. This is my stash of the week. Stash of the week.
For about the 30th fucking time, you're kicked off the show.
The art was good. The story was great. You're bringing the Marvel's first family back together. You need to do it with heart. Dan Slott writes this, gets the characters pitch perfect. We get a little bit of a callback to a previous Fantastic Four journey into the unknown. We get Dr. Doom going back to his villainous ways. We get the perfect tie-in from a Hickman's Secret Wars, where the Fantastic Four are going to get back together the way they were torn apart. Dude, and if this story does not tug at your heartstrings, you're either A, not a Fantastic Four fan, or B, dead inside. And that's really all there is to it. You tell your wives and your children that you love them, but you really feel nothing, because the Fantastic Four in this book touched me deeply. I really, really enjoyed this book. I thought that it was pitch perfect. I think that it's right in line with all the things that CB is supposed to do.
Sorry, I just had the of the night.
Oh, sorry, Drew. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. Splash page says right underneath of that, Drew, this sounds like a repeat of a Bronze Age issue. Yes, and that's why it's so freaking good. That's what was so good about it. This is the Fantastic Four. If you read the Fantastic Four, you should enjoy this. And if you don't, I don't know what to tell you, man. I liked Slott's writing on this. I thought that it was fantastic. I thought that I bought way more than 4 of them, and I thought that it was worth every fucking penny. These are some of the best variant covers I've seen in a very long time. Yeah, a lot of them will probably be sitting around in bins where they're on clearance, or you get them for a deal. That's fine. Buy them then. They're fucking gorgeous. This Assad Ribic Virgin cover right here. Oh my God. It's just immaculate. Look at that cover. Some of these things are just fantastic, and that's the only word I can use to describe it. This is my pick of the week. I can't say enough good things about it. If you disagree, you disagree, and that's where we're going to have to be.
Wow. Where's the legend? What the legend think of this book?
CR
Legend like the book.
CR Comics Toys asked if should Zdarsky have written it. I think it would have been better if Garth Ennis fucking wrote it.
It was, oh my goodness.
Oh, Garth Ennis on the Fantastic Four. You are dead inside, sir.
I just don't see. I mean, if you're going to hype up the book so much, that you should have the Fantastic Four reunite. I mean, instead of having all the shit. And again, too, it's to me the very last page is a slap in the face to anyone, like, because they explain it right there with that Scotty Young story. Like, what? Fantastic Four didn't get together. They acknowledge that they were kicking your ass, by buying the book. I think
they told you that, hey, hold your horses. We're ahead of the curve. It's coming. That's fine. I like that. I thought that it was perfect. I thought that they needed it, definitely, because people were going to be up in arms about it. But the second that you tell people to sit down, shut up, and just wait for the next issue, then people will get what's going on. I think that this, along with what's going on in Avengers right now, the rebirth of Captain America, I think, you guys aren't on board with Thor, but I think that's stayed consistently good to my liking. Most of these Marvel relaunches have been really, really good, and I think that this is right in line with that stuff.
To quote one of my favorite movies of all time. You have smoked yourself retarded.
Yeah.
This should have been a free comic.
I'm not
book
over
day
here
edition.
stashing sideways, all right?
That's me. That's Damage too. Damage is cool.
Someone Stan Lee for have him write. I said someone take Stan Lee and have him write it.
This should have been a free comic book day.
Yes.
This should have been set out last spring for free comic book day to get you hyped about the Fantastic Four reuniting, and then charging $6 for a Fantastic Four book, not a Fantastic 2 book. Fantastic Four book. This is not a Fantastic.
They were all
book.
four in the book.
Not together. They weren't fantastic.
We even
together.
got we got She-Hulk and we got Wyatt Wingfoot. What more do you want?
I wanted to punch her in the face. I mean, if you're gonna have 832 fucking variants, something should happen in the fucking book.
Yeah, a lot happened in the book.
Don't
The
feel
first
bad.
appearance of a new character.
I got all them Art Germ books too. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, the Art Germ books are great. I think they're great. But
again, who did all this hyping for Fantastic Four? They did exactly what they should do, which they haven't done in a long time, which Marvel normally goes down to the press and says, we're doing this, we're doing that. It's going to be the biggest thing ever. They didn't. They just put it out in previews. It's coming back. And then 2 months later in previews, all the variant covers that were coming out for it. That's all they did. They didn't do, this wasn't like a huge promotional campaign for Fantastic Four. The community itself is what drummed up all this pressure for it. I think that because everybody sees all these beautiful variants and they know Fantastic Four is finally coming back. Everybody knows that the Fox deal is going through, so Fantastic Four is going to be back in the family because they're going to be able to make movies about them. And everybody gets hyped about it. Marvel didn't say this is going to be the next best thing since sliced bread. They basically just said, hey, we're bringing it back, and they released a shit ton of variants for the #1. What book do they not do that for?
Well, I would loved if the Fox deal fell through and the next issue of Marvel 2-in-1 would be like, yep, they're fucking dead.
But you know, it's the hype of they haven't been around for 6 years, and them just posting a picture up saying, hey, the Marvel's first family is back. That's hype enough, because I mean it's a pretty well-known book and pretty important book to everything to Marvel. So to me, them just promoting, saying, hey, they're back, is enough to get everybody excited about it. I really
I don't
wish
know. It
that
wasn't
would have
nearly
been
as much hype as calling the New York Times to spoil your wedding issue.
Yeah, yep, they're back, and then the headline tomorrow is going to be in issue 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Joey said they made other book variants for the Fantastic Four as well.
Yeah, but they do that for everything. They did it for Black Panther 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But Black Panther's not Fantastic Four, though. Black Panther's a B-level character compared to Fantastic Four.
That's racist.
I guess I am then. Okay, moving on. Let's get off the Fantastic Four dump.
Oh man.
Fire.
I brought that one up. Hey, Drew, what's your next book? Let's get off the Fantastic Four.
All right, let's go to another book that just relaunched recently and is absolutely phenomenal in my opinion as well, and that is #3 of The Amazing Spider-Man. This is the A cover right here. I also picked up the Fantastic Four cover because this was sitting with the other Fantastic Four variants, and I was like, yeah, definitely need that Future Foundation with Spider-Man in a white suit. Definitely cool stuff.
We're dropping Fantastic Four. We're not talking about Fantastic Four anymore.
I'm talking about Spider-Man.
I
know, but he's bringing it up.
The Amazing Spider-Man, as featured in the Future Foundation.
Ah, gotcha. Okay.
Anyway, Spider-Man split himself into two using some wonky technology, and they are separate yet not equal parts. One of the Spider-Man parts ends up having all of the power, and one of them ends up having all of the responsibility, and hijinks ensue. Spencer's writing this very well. I like Otley's art. I've heard a couple people complain about it, but I'm really liking the way this book looks overall. Yeah, Amazing Spider-Man. This is definitely a stash.
Paul, you read that one this week?
No, I haven't, but I haven't gotten to it. I'm actually out of books that I've actually read this week.
Okay. So I won't call on you anymore. Mike.
Yeah, this story in Amazing Spider-Man is fantastic. Not Fantastic Four, but yeah. Now, so
Just Fantastic One.
Just fantastic. Well, they got Mary Jane in there.
I think you have to describe it as amazing.
This book is amazing. The story's amazing. Now, Peter could live his life with Mary Jane, and Spider-Man can be Spider-Man. It's fucking fantastic.
That Mary Jane is amazing.
I heard she gives good web. No.
Maybe. And crickets sound the
Go ahead.
room.
That's the sound of the book falling flat.
Yeah, I read this too. This is not on my pull list. This is one that I do pick up. Like when I got a little extra cash, I'll pick it up. But I think I might go ahead and add it to my pull list. I mean, because usually you can find Amazing Spider-Man books around. Other than that one last, $7.98. All those, and those have sold out pretty quick. But it's not too bad. I do dig the fact that they talk about a couple other characters, like power, responsibility, blah blah blah. I think it's a stash for me. I'll pick up issue 4 and finish out this arc and see where Spider-Man and Peter Parker can come back together, which I'm assuming that's going to happen at the end of the arc, unless Spider-Man stuffs Peter Parker's body down the sewer somewhere, like in the Clone Saga. Who knows? Go ahead.
Jeremy's talking about I prefer Miles. That's because he was the first I read, though. He did have a book come out this week, the annual #1. I haven't read it yet, though. So
I did not even realize that came out.
Yep.
Maybe because the annual came out like a year after the series wrapped.
Yeah, pretty much. So Peter's clone is back. No,
not in the traditional sense. Okay, Mike, you're up with your next book.
I am out of books.
You're out of books too? I read more books than you.
I am out of books.
Drew?
I've got books.
Drew's probably got like 30 more.
I have 3 more books.
Okay.
I do have Plastic Man 2 to read.
With his bulge, dressed as Harley Quinn.
How many books you got left, Dave?
I have 2.
Oh, should we lightning round?
Yeah, go do lightning round. Go ahead and start.
All right, cool. The Amazing Spider-Man, Renew Your Vows, #22. This is Jody Houser writing a terrible story with terrible art, and it got canceled. So, go ahead and pick it up if you want to. I guess I'm not gonna pick it up anymore because it's going away. Daredevil #606. Charles Soule is doing a good job on this book. It's definitely not one that I pick up and read immediately when I get home from the LCS, but I always save up a couple issues of Daredevil. So I haven't actually gotten to this one yet, but I'm pretty sure that when I get through this arc, I'll enjoy it overall. But you probably won't.
I haven't read it yet, but I started with 600 again, I think, and
yeah.
It's a solid book. It's not a wow book, but it's solid.
Yeah, that's the way I feel about it. I read it like in trade. I'll wait for an arc to finish. I'll read it all together, and I'll be like, "Oh, that was some Daredevil." And somebody will be like, "Hey, do you like Daredevil?" And I'll be like, "Meh." I don't know why I keep buying it. Spider-Man versus Deadpool 37. This is just dumb fun. If you don't like dumb fun, you're not going to like this book. If you don't like Deadpool, you're not going to like this book. But if you do, this is probably for you. So check it out.
That's it? That's all the books you got?
That's it.
Okay.
That's all the books I got.
Sweet Rabbit said, God, Plastic Man was god awful. Big ups if you like it. Now I don't have to fucking read it. It was all god awful. Nah, I'm still gonna read it.
I don't know if anybody read Trinity's pick of the week. I know what his pick of the week was. It was Cat Red's pick of the week as well.
I probably did read it. I think so. So this one I didn't read this week. Superman #2. Didn't get around to it this week. I'm assuming he's talking this one by Aftershock Hot Lunch Special.
Yes, he is.
That is. This is actually my co-pick of the week. Kind of a cool book.
I find it.
Almost like a mob kind of thing. There's about this this food distribution company, and they go back and forth. They end up killing a major character, not major character, but at the end, it was a good, solid book. As Catherine said right there, my co-pick of the week. I read the little small synopsis in back of one other Image book, and I'm like, dude, did I actually order that? I didn't really think it was going to be anything, but I actually did enjoy it quite a bit. And next book is, which I'm surprised nobody else picked up. Drew didn't pick it up. Unnatural #2.
Oh, I did pick that up. I haven't read it yet.
This was a good continuation of the other story. Her friend here is going to some old book dealer to figure out maybe.
Does that have more?
No, not so much. A little more fantasies. No more pig nipples. I don't think there are any pig nipples out that I remember, because I remember the first one.
It was definitely not as racy as the #1 issue.
No.
When I flipped through it, I gave it a quick flip.
Yeah.
The art still seems on par, though. Still a beautiful book.
I don't want to show pig nipple and get banned. I don't be careful.
Best pig nipples were in Shirtless Firefighter.
That's true.
Hashtag bestiality.
Pork and potatoes.
So her friend goes to the bookstore trying to find a book to interpret dreams of why she's having these dreams with these about this wolf, and then we get a backstory on her as well. She finds out that her mom had actually cheated on her dad with was he a fox? What was he? I guess he's a wolf too, maybe. So maybe that's where some of that stuff is coming from as well. So interspecies stuff, definitely a social commentary on today's societal stuff. So it's a good book. I think I probably will pick up all 12 issues now after reading this one. So a stash for me. And that is all of my books.
Hashtag pig nips.
Hashtag pig nips. Before we jump into Mike's segment, we're going to talk about this real quick. This is August, September, or August.
That's gone off the rails.
What's that? What's going off the rails?
Nothing. We're back on the rails.
Okay.
Back on the rails.
I don't know what the hell's going on. So this is our book for August, Amazing Spider-Man Renew Your Vows, number 13, the J. Scott Campbell cover. We have a new Patreon that is Ted. He's just entered himself for 3 entries into this contest. So this book will be going till September 2nd, 6:30 p.m. to enter Pacific time. So definitely, if you're interested in that book, go check out Patreon. Links down below in the comments or in the description. So we definitely appreciate anybody who's jumping in and helping us support this by getting more prizes and stuff for the show. So, and that is it.
And walking around money.
Can I enter this one?
No,
I know.
Not giving this one.
I keep wanting to enter these damn things.
Oh, okay.
What you guys can do is you can just mail me some walking around money, and you can feel like you're entered.
Oh, maybe.
I'll have Midwest Comic Ball and Chain enter.
Oh, wow! There you go.
No,
The friends and family loophole.
What's that?
On that cover, is Mary Jane eyeballing her dirty belows?
Maybe.
Why are they dirty?
I think Jeremy's going to drop some coin on this one.
He was already excited about it. So was Pocan Joe. And actually, Ted's a guy that I know personally. He caught me at a comic book store last Saturday. He goes, dude, I got to have that book. So he entered in today as well. So I will see if is she looking at her goodies, he said? I don't know. Doesn't look like it.
Okay.
But now we'll move on to Mike.
Maybe that's just what I see. Shut your fucking mouth!
I was going to say the line. Cue.
Go ahead, Mike.
Ready?
Yeah, go.
It's your segment. What are you doing? You just take it off and then just stop.
Where's my fucking notes? Right here.
We need Chad here. He's Captain Segway. Every freaking time we do the Funko segment, he turns into a freaking robot.
All right, I'm gonna try this.
Damn robots.
Mickey Mouse is celebrating his 90th anniversary soon, and a slew of pops are coming out for that. I already talked about those a couple weeks ago. They will be released on August 20th, 8 days away. Box Lunch is getting a glow-in-the-dark anti-venom, so be on the lookout for that one. Saturday Night Live Wave 2, we're getting the Spartan Cheerleader 2-pack, Drunk Uncle, and Rosanna Anna Dana. Some of you are too young for all that, but One Piece pops are coming. I guess it's Wave 3 in October. Freddie Mercury rumor. How many what?
How many pieces?
One piece. Just one. Rumors are we're getting a Freddie Mercury pop, and that's going to be FYE exclusive. This next wave of Infinity War pops are coming. Amazon's going to have a 6-inch, what's his name, E-Tree? The fucking... the fucking guy from...
What is going on? I'm looking at something else. I'm just listening.
I think Mike's having a stroke.
You must be.
All right, moving on. I can't do that. Groot with the Stormbreaker, young Gamora, Winter Soldier with his new arm, and Bruce Banner hulking out.
Were you talking Tyrion Lannister, the dwarf thing?
Yeah. What's his name? E-Tree?
I don't know.
Etri?
Etri. We're going to have 6 inches of Etri. Man.
Okay, now everything's gone off the rails.
Yeah, if you missed the Target Pikachu, they have plans on restocking this fall. Veep pops are on the way, more NFL pops. The next specialty series is going to include the 80-year anniversary of Superman, where he's flying. And New York Comic-Con pops are, he says, 6 inches and blushes and giggles. You know, Joe. You know, Joey.
I don't want to know.
I did pick up some pops this week. First off, I got... Where's my fucking camera? There it is.
You don't even know where your camera is?
Put the pizza down. Got Demona from Gargoyles, the Hot Topic exclusive. Right there. I finally got this Seth Rollins from WWE. Fauno from Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, that's cool.
Got to get that. They have the where is it at? The Pale Man as well. I didn't see him. Shock from Nightmare Before Christmas. Greta from the Gremlins.
Oh, the cross-dressing one?
The cross-dressing one.
Her name is Caitlin.
It's Greta, man. Rainbow Bright.
You actually bought Rainbow Bright, huh?
Yeah, why not? She's a big part of the 80s. You got to tell me you never watched her cartoon.
Never.
You're a fucking liar. And this was...
Funny story about that.
Funny story.
Stop aping my lines.
This was a gift from Bruce Zayas, so big shout out to him. I don't know if he's in the chat or not. I had sent
Bruce
him...
Zayas, drop down and give us 20, you maggot.
I get, because every other fucking WE star from that era is dead.
You watch your fucking dirty mouth.
No, I'm like, know.
Don't invoke the death of Sergeant Slaughter.
I genuinely don't know.
Yeah, he's alive.
Is he?
For now. You just jinxed him.
Well, brother's got to be 90 now or something.
Every time you say a wrestler's name from the late 70s, early 80s, they have a coronary. So just be careful.
So I had sent Bruce Zayas to Kurt Angle pop because he was having trouble finding it, and I still didn't have this one, so he sent me this one.
I think we're safe for a little bit, Drew, because they say everything comes in threes, and they had that one day where 3 died in one day.
Yeah, they're all dropping like flies.
It was Nikolai Volkov. And
Brian Christopher, Grandmaster Sexay, hung himself in jail. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yep, and I think it was SD Jones or it was one of the 70s, 80s guys that died.
Oh, yeah, well, they're all dying. All our heroes are dead.
I'm surprised a few of them are still alive at what they've been through.
And I'm sorry, I love Sergeant Slaughter, but there's no way he was beating that fucking Cobra guy in the G.I. Joe movie.
Which one?
But that's
the main villain from G.I. Joe the movie.
The one that they created, the I forget what his name was, but it was like the badass with the wings and shit.
Nemesis Enforcer or some shit.
Nemesis Enforcer, I think was his name.
Is that it? That's all the Funkos you got?
That's all I got.
Is that it? Come on, get some more Funkos.
There we go. There we go.
It's not a Blasted or Stashed episode without Broken Eardrum.
Then there was the snake guy from Cobra La, Globulus, I think.
Yep.
What about you, Paul? Did you get any toys this week? Any plastics?
No.
I'm not either. I have one coming tomorrow. I'll show off next week. Oh, yeah. What about you, Drew?
A Funko?
Not a Funko,
I did
no.
say, I forget what company it is. Hold on, give me 1 second.
The Marvel Select.
No, it's a
No. The one I got coming, I'll get tomorrow. Marvel Select.
What Marvel Select do you got?
Am I supposed to hit it now?
Oh, you don't have to.
I got the Punisher Marvel Select.
Huh. Good job.
Yeah. Any toys, any plastic this week for you, Drew?
I picked up a Multiple Man, and I finished my Build-A-Figure Apocalypse, but I left them upstairs. And I also picked up one extra Multiple Man, so I can have multiple men. Yeah, I know how much you guys sense. Like that. And probably going to get a couple more Multiple Men along the way. Yeah, beyond that, and I just picked up some books, spent most of my money on Fantastic Four variants, and in the interest of covering myself for all future incidents with my microphone, I'd just like to say, fuck your Funko ears. That's my new catchphrase.
Okay, I found it. For the people who have more money than you know it to do with, it's a Sideshow collectible. They've announced a Doomsday statue that is fucking ridiculous.
I just saw that, and I was looking through Flipboard just now. Yep, $1,700.
Yep. Which is about standard for the Sideshow collectibles. I mean, they're 40 inches tall.
Wow.
I would
almost 4 feet. 3.5 feet tall. Damn.
Yeah. I mean that's
insane.
And it's the detail on it. That's just sick.
Wow. Okay. Any more news, toy related, anything like that, guys? No.
Nothing toy related.
Okay. Okay, Mike.
Shut your Funko mouth.
Okay. So
Funko is shut.
I know you guys were talking about earlier. Let's move with Drew first. You watched Teen Titans Go, the movie.
Yes.
What was your take on that movie?
Let me tell you guys, I do not have a bad thing to say about the Teen Titans Go movie. It was so much fun. There were so many deep dive references. There were so many fantastic, humorous moments. The music was great. Slade as the villain was hilarious. Mind manipulation was a thing. You get a fantastic post-credit sequence. You get a really great, maybe one of the best ever Stan Lee cameos, yes, in a DC movie. You get a reference and a callback continually to a joke about the challengers of the unknown. You're not getting any of those kind of references in a Deadpool movie. You're not getting any kind of humor and lighthearted celebratory content of the DC universe in any of the DC EU movies or whatever the hell they're calling all that shit now. This is probably one of the most perfect comic book movies ever made. Yeah, if you need to take things seriously, then you're not going to like it. But man, did I have a ton of fun watching this movie. The whole plot synopsis is basically the Titans are seen as goofsters and jokesters. Nobody takes them seriously, and they think that the only way that they're ever going to be seen as serious heroes is if they get a movie made about them. And they go to Hollywood to get a movie made about them, and it's amazing. It's freaking great. You get Plastic Man, Hawkman's in it, the Atom's in it, freaking Batman. There's a reference to Alfred in the Batmobile getting a movie before Robin. It's fantastic. There's nothing I can say about it that isn't a glowing review. Go take your kids to go see this movie. Go see it by yourself. It's fan-fucking-tastic. Teen Titans Go to the Movies is probably the best DC movie that has ever been made, and it's second to me this year only to Infinity War for obvious reasons. But man, this is a fun time at the theater. Get your popcorn, get your watch on.
I don't think anybody else watched that this week, right? I know maybe you watched it too, Drew. I'm not sure, but I know Mike went and saw The Meg.
I did see The Meg.
What was The Meg like?
She is a beautiful creature, let me tell you. No, it's just what you expect, a cheesy fucking shark movie, which is absolutely right up my alley. My fascination with sharks. Now, if you read the book, you already know, which I have long time ago. There's a plot twist right in the middle of the movie, so... But it's pretty much nonstop action. Trinity saw it too, so he just said. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, it's not movie of the year material by any means, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I don't think you're ever going to see Jason Statham in a movie of the year material, but it's going to be fucking entertaining.
That is true.
I'm pretty sure Crank 2 is an Oscar-worthy performance.
Both of the Crank movies.
They
do have the new category, most popular.
Yeah.
Jeremy said, wait, Mike read an actual book? Back when I was in the Merchant Marines and had a lot of downtime, I read a lot. I actually read the whole Harry Potter series, and it's so much better than the movies. I read a lot of books.
They didn't have panels.
Yep. I wasn't collecting comics at that time, nope.
Drew, did you see The Meg too?
I did not see The Meg.
Okay.
Funny story about that.
Yeah, you guys must have been talking about it in the chat, saying that, hey, we're going to review that on the show. So you guys must have just been talking about the individual movies you guys saw.
I wanted to know if The Meg was any good. So I asked Mike to review it on the show.
Oh.
And I feel like we've all learned something from this.
What's that?
That The Meg was pretty good.
Okay.
For what it is.
And what it is a shark movie about sharks and the transporters there. What more could you ask for?
And another in a long line of Hollywood movies that shoehorns Chinese people in to get the Chinese market.
It did, actually. Yep.
So talking... Go ahead.
I read an article about it where they said, that they absolutely did this to get the Chinese market.
I mean, there was even a whole shark fin suit thing going on.
Yep.
Small little part.
And
I don't remember there being any Chinese people in Teen Titans Go to the movies, but I could have just missed it.
No, but I mean,
New Superman might have been there. I mean, that's how deep they went.
I think you are seeing a good bit of that. Well, I mean, look at the Red Dawn remake where they had to change them to North Koreans because they didn't want the Chinese. It's the second largest movie market in the world. So when it comes to bucks, you're gonna go for the bucks.
So, talking about the Meg, Ruby Rose was one of the actresses in that movie. She has recently been cast as Batwoman. I'm not sure if it's as its own series or if it's a character continuing on the other DC stuff. She's recently deleted her Twitter and other social medias regarding the backlash from her being cast as Batwoman. It kind of recently happened, too, with one of the girls from... the Titans that's coming out that plays Starfire. So
it's happened with one of the girls from Star Wars. It happened with 11 from Stranger Things. Fandom is toxic.
So that's my question, you guys in here is nobody's safe from online. Nobody's safe from criticism online. Do you think these people who are being attacked? Now, I'm not saying that I condone them going out and saying racist or sexist things toward these people. But do you think people need to have a little thicker skin if they're going to be cast in this and they need to go, let's ignore that shit and move forward? Or what do you think that should be happening with this stuff? Whoever wants to go ahead.
Well, one of the things that really pissed her off is everybody was saying, you can't play Batgirl because you're not gay. And she's like, hello?
Yeah.
I've been out since 12. I haven't changed. And she's like, this is the problem with fandom. When she did one of her other roles, they were like, you can't play that character because you're gay. And then the same people are sitting there saying, you can't play her because you're not gay. She's like, I haven't changed. I'm who I am. I've been gay since I was 12.
Yeah.
You know?
How about for one moment, we take a second and look at it for what it actually is. And that is a job where she pretends to be someone different. So why does it matter who she is? As long as she can do her job and play Batwoman, who is a character that, I don't know, if you care about Batwoman, good on you. There are a lot of people who love obscure characters, but as far as like the Bat universe goes, Batwoman is pretty much as far out there as you can really get. Oh, we're gonna have a Batwing show, maybe. Oh, that's stuff that it's on the periphery of the Batman family proper. It's not hugely influential in continuity. I get that, people are passionate about these things, but dude, like nobody has seen it yet. Like the Starfire thing, man, I get people who were upset about it. I get that because it doesn't look like Starfire.
It doesn't look good.
Nobody's right. It doesn't look good. That's the problem. And people need to not focus that on the poor actress who is cast in the role. She's just doing her job. She's showing up. She's putting on the makeup that they put on her. She's saying the lines that they give her to say in a manner that the director is directing her to do it. If you see it and it's not good, then say something about her, But in a right, I think it's a different argument altogether, the two things. Go ahead, Paul.
I don't blame her for her character looking like shit.
Right.
But I mean, did anybody have any problems with Keanu Reeves and John Wick? I mean, I don't think he's an international assassin. I just don't think he is. So he's acting. And Ruby Rose will be acting. And personally, I think she's good for the part.
I don't know if I've seen her in anything in particular.
She was great in Orange and the New Black. She was in the second John Wick, I think. And, she's done a couple other things.
She was the hotel fight scene in the second John Wick?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, she'll do fine as Batwoman on the Arrow and the CW Arrowverse. Really?
Yeah.
There's going to be somebody who's too bad at acting for the CW Arrowverse. Like, God, there's been a lot of really cheesy stuff in the CW Arrowverse.
Jason Smith said they got white people in the Gods of Egypt. people calm down.
Yeah.
I think that it's man, I just who gives a shit enough to hurt this poor girl's feelings? Like she, you know, like
but that's my point. There is, if she's an actor, she's into living in a public life. Does she need to have a little thicker skin? No, I'm not saying that. Like I said, people get online saying, "Oh, you're not gay enough, or you're not white enough, or you're not brown enough, or whatever." But should these people really give any fuel to these haters that are going online? I mean, me, like, I don't like certain things. I just don't comment on it. I have lived the philosophy is you don't got something nice to say, don't say anything at all, and I just move on. I go, okay, I don't like it, I'm not going to watch it, whatever it may be. But I mean, do you think you just got thicker skin?
We got 500 subs, so we're only going to get a few things. These people are getting, I mean, like in particular, the girl from Star Wars. I mean, thousands upon thousands of things talking about how shitty she was. I don't blame her for shutting it off. Mm-hmm. Fuck it. I just don't want to read that shit. You know?
Well, I think it, you know, it's
some people are getting death threats. I mean, it's.
Yeah. Well, I would agree that it's definitely too far for people to take things. But man, it's 2018. Hell yes, they need a thicker skin. So does everybody about everything.
Yeah,
and just because you're sensitive, you need a thicker skin doesn't give people the right to just be douchebags. Like, I think that a better rule instead of get over it would be don't be a fucking douchebag. We need to, you know, the only way that goes away is if you raise your kids to be better fucking people than we are as a society. And, you know, good luck on that. They've been trying to do that for generations, and it never works.
I mean, my rule needs to come both sides, though. Sorry, Paul, didn't mean to cut you off.
No, that's fine. My rule about my online things is I will not say anything about anybody online or anywhere. I won't say to their fucking face. And if it gets me punched in the fucking face, well, so be it. But I'm not going to say something that I would be afraid to say something to them.
But does anybody think there's forced diversity in I mean, that's a big topic right now between comics. It's forced diversity in movies and comic books. Do you think they're like, oh well, we don't have an Asian guy, we don't have a Hispanic guy, we don't have a black guy, we don't have a gay guy? I mean,
you've got a couple things going on here. You've got forced diversity, and you've also got anytime someone does anything that is, you know, someone wears a Chinese costume. Oh, you're cultural appropriation. Oh, you made lasagna. That's cultural appropriation. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Just fuck off. I mean, people need to just fucking let people live their fucking life.
Yeah. I mean, like, to go back even a year, I mean, I know they were talking about Iron Fist and how they said, well, white guys should be playing Danny Rand. I mean, to me, that's a big part of that story is that fish out of water, that character who's not Asian, who's going in and learning that.
Comic.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't really have a big deal of changing race when it has nothing to do with the story, but his race had a very important part of that story, I thought. You know, because he's a white guy, crammed, you know, stuck into this Asian culture, and he ended up being the Iron Fist. You know, his race played a very important part in that. We're like Heimdall. You know, people were saying, "Oh, he's black. Oh my God, who cares? Dude, his race had nothing to do with what the story was, right?"
Yeah.
His race is Asgardian. Like,
yeah.
Do me a favor, tell me exactly what an Asgardian looks like, because they've looked like a million different things.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is
mostly they look Norse, but who really gives a shit? I think that you know, as far as this goes, it goes too far one way and then it goes too far the other. There's really no winning and there's no pleasing everybody.
Yeah.
So, you know, the safe way to deal with it is just, you know, to stay out of it, not really talk about it. But that doesn't fix anything. And you know, not that we're gonna fix anything talking about it here.
We are. We're gonna change the world, Drew. With our 500 subs, we're changing the world.
Well, maybe if you guys got me some walking around money to have, I'd be able to budget for these types of things.
Okay. Well, Mike has.
I just think, you know, if you cast somebody in one of these roles from an established property, whether it be a book, a prior movie, a comic book, an internet meme. Who knows what it is that you're casting these people from? But if it's an Asian character and you do not cast an Asian, there will be an outcry. Okay? If it's a black character and you do not cast a black person, there will be an outcry. And it's not so much about sticking to continuity as it is about representation. And there is a history of these roles for minorities being whitewashed. I think that when you combine that fervor for reconciliation of representation, which isn't the same thing in my mind as forced diversity. It's just like, this person is Asian, that's part of their character. Let's maintain that as part of their character. And like you said, the Iron Fist argument was bunk because being the white billionaire is inherently something that's part of Danny Rand's character. I think that that's a perfect argument for this point of view, from a white person's point of view, when it mostly is described as a minority's point of view. You combine that sort of powder keg of misunderstanding and people getting all up in arms and accusatory of a bunch of different bullshit with nerds and their need for continuity. I'm as guilty as this as anyone. I was vehemently against the casting of Michael B. Jordan as Johnny Storm. And it didn't have anything to do with him being black. It had to do with the fact that he was black and Sue Storm was white. If you had to cast Michael B. Jordan, find a black girl to play Sue. Is it really that hard?
They were adopted, right?
That's what the story was. She was adopted because they had to shoehorn that in. That's the kind of thing that drives me nuts. And it comes off when somebody just when in the Twitterverse, when I've got only so many characters to explain myself, and I have to say, because it's the only way to get it off my chest, that Michael B. Jordan is not a good pick for the Human Torch. All of a sudden, it becomes an issue of race. It's more than anything in the social media world. It's people misunderstanding other people's points of view. It's people not being able to properly communicate their point or their tone when they're discussing these topics. And it just becomes a minefield where you can't say anything without hurting somebody's feelings, or you can't hear anything without getting your feelings hurt. It's, TJ Watson says in the chat, Shang-Chi's better be cast as Asian, but Iron Fist has always been white. I dig that. That's fine. You want to cast an Asian character as Iron Fist, you might as well do Shang-Chi. They didn't do Shang-Chi because that story's not that great, and nobody knows who Shang-Chi is. So it's frustrating to think about it constantly and not come to any sort of a reasonable expectation of where you want to go moving forward. But it's just, everybody's too damn sensitive these days. I need to breathe, and that's all I'm going to say.
Well, to go back, go ahead, Paul.
Michael B. Jordan is a gifted ass actor, and I will watch.
Yes,
he does. That is the perfect example of forced diversity in a movie. However, he was. I mean, it just made no sense. I mean, this is. I understand. Yes, there should be roles for different characters. This is a group. The Fantastic Four has 70 fucking years of history where they're white, and to just change it to get that guy in the role just doesn't work. There are great black comic characters. Obviously, we've seen this with Black Panther. And it was done very well.
To go back to what you were saying with the Asgardians, we don't know what the Asgardian looks like. That same thing goes with Starfire for the new Titans movie. I've read articles.
She's an alien.
Yeah, she's an alien. I've read articles saying that some people say she's not black enough. Some people say that no, she's always been black. It's like, no, she's an alien. We have no clue to what whatever the people want to make her look like. What's that, Paul?
She's orange. She's fucking orange. I don't know any orange people.
She was like her
I'm in the
original coloring is very muddied brown orange. It's very deep, and it could definitely be construed as black. I would say she's more, red guard if you're gonna, I would put her in that realm. She's definitely not a pale complexion. I don't have a problem with the black girl playing her. What I do have a problem with is really shitty special effects, and that's something that needs to be directed at the producers and not at the poor girl who was hired to do the job. Yeah, that's all. I don't think we disagree on that at all.
I have a problem with her looking like a Bank Street whore.
That's what my problem is too.
Check out Starfire's costumes, man. She's always dressed like a fucking whore. I mean, that's say what you want about it. Even in the kid-friendly version, she's got a mini skirt and her midriff is showing. So, she's not. Starfire is not the picture of modesty. I don't think that seems to be the problem.
But Chad's got a point. He says she looks like she's part of the Godfather Ho train.
Yeah, but my point was people are screaming racism on both sides when like you said, Drew, it's a made up character. It's right. Whatever they want to determine what she looks like, because I don't know what planet Starfire is from. I mean, maybe someone can tell me that. I don't know, but
it's Catran knows. I don't know.
Thank you for that stroke moment, Mike.
It's Themyscira or Thanagar or another one of those sounds that DC Cosmic makes that doesn't make any goddamn sense to me.
But it's a fictional character. That's all I'm saying, and we don't need to throw race into it.
Here's my bottom line.
See what JLS said?
Yeah.
He's a fucking dragon, actually. JLS.
Well, that's what I said. Not dragon status. Human. But the bottom line is, one, you're never gonna please fucking everybody. Mm-hmm. Two, if I go to a movie and I'm fucking entertained, I don't give a shit.
Yep. Okay, so that was another heated conversation. I think that's the deepest we've ever gone with anything like that. But there's Kyle Walker. So I gotta ask him a question. Why you're right there? Let me find it, Kyle. Like, hold on a sec. Stay with this, Kyle.
He has been waiting all fucking night for this.
I have.
Kyle, this is kind of a xenophobic, New Zealand-based question. I want you to make sure. I want to make sure that this is Dave's line of questioning and not sponsored by Blaster Stashes as a whole.
Yeah.
So we believe that you are more to us than just a New Zealander.
Is this the number one book in New Zealand? Blast Source, not this particular issue, but I guess it's been released over in New Zealand, and this is the first time it's been in America. They say it's the number one book in New Zealand. I gotta know. Let me know. So I'll let him figure that out in the chat real quick. So we'll go ahead and wrap it up here. We are at an hour and 37 minutes. Drew, last minute comments, shout outs.
Yeah, make sure you get a chance at that J. Scott Campbell variant that we got going on the Patreon. That is absolutely beautiful. We don't have a chance to win it, but you do. Go ahead and give us some money, and we'll give you a chance to win. Beyond that, Baltimore Comic-Con's coming up at the end of September. If you're going to be in town, definitely hit some of us up. Mikey's definitely going to be there. Pocan Joe's going to be there. Chad for the Bat Cave is going to be there. Your mom's going to be there. Wait, don't tell her.
Just as Harley. Hashtag Fat Harley.
Hashtag Fat Harley. Your mom is cosplaying as Fat Harley, and it's going to be epic. So definitely come out to Harm City and get a couple drinks with us at least. Beyond that, shout out to everybody in the chat. Good to have the Comic Core guys here in the house tonight, so they let me join them on Friday. That was a lot of fun, and
I don't get to go over there ever.
The reason we can't do this show on Fridays is because you're not available.
Still, I don't even get offered.
By the way, this just in, Kyle Waka says that is indeed the number one comic in New Zealand.
He says that here? I don't see it there.
He said,
I believe it is. It's right there in the chat.
No, I believe it is, not indeed it is. The big difference between indeed.
Indeed, he believes it is. So
whatever. Paul.
shout out to everybody in the chat. Special shout out to CR Comics Toys. This is my buddy. He's a good guy. He does amazing fucking spray paint art. Everybody sub him up. He's a good guy. And as always, shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my Comic Core guys. And we will see you next week.
Does your friend have a way we could see his art?
He does have he has a Facebook page. I'll shoot it to you, Mike. Or he may be able to put it in the chat. I know he's got one specifically for spray paint art.
Gotcha. Just thought I'd ask. Shout outs, a few new subscribers to my personal
Shout out
channel.
to Doris. She's always open.
I don't know what the hell he's talking about there. Oh, door is always open. For what? Why is your door always open, Jeremy?
Oh, he's talking about Comic Core, but your ass is always working.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Somebody's got to fish condoms out of the Poo Lagoon.
I do. It's the shitty part of my night.
Patchouli scented.
Patchouli scented, yeah. Go ahead, Mike. Shout outs.
Like I said, a few new subscribers to my personal channel. Ben Magana 85. That's Magana. Captain Canada. And the only Midwest comic band's Ball and Chain. So big shout out to them three. That's all I got.
Okay, so we have 4 new subs to our Last of Us channel. G-Wiz TV, CR Comics and Toys, which is the friend of Paul's, Bruce Leroy, and Justin of the Rican in his comics. Shout out to Stay Puff 1983. He was in the chat today. I'm not sure if he subbed. I didn't see anything notice in there. But that is it, guys. We'll see you next Sunday. Make sure you come check out our Facebook page as well as our Twitter. Check out our Patreon. Get into ops. Oh my goodness, I can't. I'm tired.
I gotta write that down. CR Comics to Toys says search Kevin Sprays and Art on Facebook if you want to check his stuff out.
Okay. I've got a friend, so I'll be able to give you a direct link, Mikey.
Gotcha.
Oh, Trinity wants to do an off-air. Ooh, his door is always open. So, whether you've lasted or whether you stash it, happy reading, guys. We'll catch you next week.
See ya.
Later.